Scaife. Beautiful, awesome woman. I'll tell you more about her in just a few moments. But before we get started, I am going to share with you why I created ReSounding Wholeness Conversations and what it means to me. In a world that idolizes celebrities, gurus, athletes, fashion, the latest trends, technology, media, and more, it is our goal to highlight human beings who are sharing their unique, incredible soul's purpose and service in the world. While they may not have the biggest following, these courageous beings are making an incredible impact in the world, creating energetic ripples that will collectively serve to move mountains and reshape the future of humanity on this planet. We hope to encourage and inspire more people to reconnect with their unique gifts, step into their true soul's calling, take actions to serve humanity, and be a way shower at this pivotal time in history and, more importantly, her story. Yes, okay, history and her story. But you know what? It's time for women. Can I get time to women to really rise up? And so today I have Tayla here with me. And what I want to say is that I met Tayla by divine appointment in 2017 through a wonderful weekend retreat gathering that our friend Corinne Marnett put together. And the moment I set eyes, ears, and energy on Tayla, I was in love. And if I was gay, you know, who knows what could have transpired. All I knew, right? All I knew is that the energy of this woman just drew me in, and her honesty and her, you know, her truth telling and the way she was, just you, the way you were that day, that weekend, you know, I didn't want to lose you. I didn't want that weekend to end. I didn't want your energy and our connection to end. And as it turns out, you know, life took its, you know, took its highways and byways, and we not disconnected. We were still connected on Facebook, but it was literally last fall, late winter of last year that we reconnected. And I'm so grateful that we did, because this is the time. This is the time for us to be together again. And so, welcome to ReSounding Wholeness Conversations, Tayla.
Thank you for having me, K-Ray. I'm so glad to be here. It was 2017, almost to the date that
Yes.
we met and had that amazing weekend. And so I'm honored that you have asked me to be a part of this amazing platform that you have, and to be able to share my journey and my story. And hopefully those that hear will be inspired. There may be something that I say that will inspire, heal, get somebody up out the bed to go do what, like I said on one of my videos, go bake a cake. So thank you for having me here. I'm grateful.
Yeah. So I know we don't want to get too much into your total life story, like, because that would take us probably 5 days. That wouldn't even be
Yeah.
enough. But if you wanted to just sort of tell a little bit about your personal journey, what you want people to know, like where you've been and how you've gotten to this point. Because most of what our time together, I think, is going to be more about what's happened in the last year, and more importantly, your revelations in the last, you know, few weeks. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll just kind of speak that I've like been in an existential crisis probably since 2006. And it's just been existential crisis after existential crisis after existential crisis. And for those that don't know what an existential crisis is basically everything that you think you know, you don't know no more, and you question all of it, and it flips your world upside down. And so in 2006, I was sitting at my desk at HCA, and I was a huge Christian, like huge. And so I heard a voice say the only reason why you believe what you believe is because of where you were born and who you were born to. Had you been born in Iraq, you would be Muslim. And I almost lost my mind. I thought I was going to be put in a mental hospital. So a lot of things have happened since then. I was married, got a divorce. I had a teenage daughter. She's now grown, grandbaby on the way. And so now, I went through, I got a divorce, or my ex-husband and I, we separated 7 years ago. And that's really where the transition started, was from that point. And so now I'm here in this space of really, after really coming out of the existential crisis, the pivotal point of it was none of this is real. Like, and I could not let that go. None of this is real. If the lights go off tomorrow, the only thing that we're gonna do is survive. Like, this is all made up. It's all fake. I couldn't get past it. And then with that came, we're all gonna die. And with the all we're gonna die, I couldn't get past it. I was like, oh my God, like, what is the point in any of this?
Right.
Like, I didn't have anything to believe or hold on to or grab hold to anymore, because everything that I thought I believed, every time I thought I believed something, I didn't believe it anymore. So now here we are at this point of, I get it today.
Yeah. So, and especially in the last year, like, talk about having so many, well, not just the last year, honestly, BLM, all of the issues that, Black Lives Matter has been bringing to the forefront, and, death, like every human being on the planet facing immortality, whether it's by the hands of some asshole, excuse my French, or, a horrible person, or, the COVID or this or that. And it's like every human being has been impacted on this planet. And death happens for our 90-year-old friend, and the children. It's like it's everywhere. And so existential crisis, I think that you got to have the opportunity, I'm guessing, to have multiple ones before we got to 2020.
And I look at death completely different. Everybody, oh my God, we're devastated, and the people are dead. They're dead. So we're here to, kind of have to mourn that, but at the same time, I'm always like, I feel for the people who have to go through because we're human, we have to go through those emotions.
Yes.
But if you look at the reality of it, it is what it is. And so I've taken a hold of that and decided, and try to inspire other people to say, okay, let's not live in a place. And I had to get to that point. That was part of what has happened the past couple of weeks. I just kind of woke up. There were things that I was doing, places I was going, and I would just wake up and be like, I don't want to do that no more. Went through this whole spiritual thing where I was meditating every day, and I had to ground, and I had to do all of this, and I had to do all of that, and I had to do every ritual that there was, and I had to do this and that, and I was driving myself fucking crazy. I was like, my mental health, like, I was trying to figure out what was wrong, because I was like, am I supposed to manifest, or am I supposed to do astrology? Like, what am I supposed to do? And so I was driving myself. I literally woke up one day and was like, I ain't meditating no more. It's a tool that I've been given, but I ain't meditating no more.
Yeah. And
at that moment, I was good. Now I know that if I just need to sit and breathe, I can do that. I have that tool to be able to do that. But I found a peace, and then from that, it rolled into. I came back from. There are some others that have happened, but the most prominent that has been the most recent was I came home from out of town last Friday, and I am non-monogamous. I don't like to use the word poly. I just believe that love is freedom.
Yes. That word, freedom.
Love is freedom, and it's allowing people the freedom to be able to love whoever it is they want to love, to do whatever it is that they need to do in order to make themselves happy. And that is love to me. And so I date multiple people. There's a young man, he's 15 years younger than me. It has taught me it's taught me so much about myself in the past 2 years since I've known him.
Yes.
And we were talking about moving in together, and to help save bills, just not as roommates, as roommates. But I came home, and we spent a lot of time with each other. I came home and I sat in my car, And I looked at my odometer. I'm gonna get back to him in a minute, but I looked at my odometer and I was like, this is 233,000 miles on my car. I really want a new car. But me being in the thought frame that I've been in,
Yes.
I thought I can't get a car note. Like, you can't have a car note. And I sat there, I said, I can have whatever the hell I want. Why am I keeping myself in this box? And that started it. I came in the house. I was like, I need to clean up. My house is dirty. And I said, no, you tired. Sit down. So I sat down. I looked around my house. And I said, you know what? I love my space. I like, this is amazing.
Oh my gosh, it really is.
Oh, I'm like, I love my space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live with nobody. Roommate, together, nothing. And I've said that for years. And so we just kind of got in this space where this just had to be something because I don't live with nobody. And then I looked at my feet and they looked horrible. I hadn't had a pedicure in 6 months. Mm-hmm. I got up and I went and got a pedicure, got my eyebrows arched, got me some wings, ate my wings. And I was just like, you know what? It came to a point of, again, going back to what it was that I believed in and feeling like as humans, we have to have something to hold on to. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, the problem is I don't believe in anything. Not, and half of it is not even myself because I want to start a business. I let that go. I was like, let me let all this shit go. If I was going to start a business, I would have did 5 years ago. I don't want to do it. I just want to build relationships. So I started, that was one of the first things. You have something
say that before you go, say that again. You just want to do what?
Build relationships. Build relationships, have relationships, mature, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. There's so many people, like when they're on their deathbed, what is it that you wish that you had done? I wish that I would have spent more time with the people that I love. Yes. I was out here chasing money. I was out here chasing shit that don't even matter, trying to build a legacy. But what you build a legacy and your kids don't even give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you go buy a house for your children and I want to leave my kids something. They don't care. They let it go. Don't pay the taxes. Mm-hmm. And then, you know what I'm saying? So, I came to a point where I said, there's really nothing that I believe in, but I need to believe in something. There's something I need to hold on to. And I decided, I sat here and I wrote the Gospel of Tayla. Oh. I sure did. I wrote the Gospel of Tayla. And I said, how do I want to live my life? What are the things that are not working for me that used to work for me, or the things that used to work for me or that does work for me that I've let go of because I've gotten into this crazy funk. And so I sat down and started writing down the Gospel of Tayla. And I said, this is my Bible. And this is how I'm going to choose to live my life. And I'm going to do whatever makes me happy. Yes. I'm going to do whatever makes me laugh. I'm going to say no with a period without having to explain myself. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest with myself so that I can continue to be honest with other people, no matter how it makes them feel or how it could affect our relationship or anything. Yes. People come and go. Don't be attached to anything. Don't have an attachment because things come and go. All the time, things come and go. Nothing is, we go again with death. Everything, you don't even have to look at death as people die, literally dying. Right. Relationships go. Your job goes. All of those are deaths over and over and over and over again. So don't be attached to a job. Don't be attached to a person. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your child. Don't be attached to anything. Yes. I just sat down and just wrote out this stuff, and I was like, this is how I'm gonna live. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how did it feel as you were like writing down these revelations of how Tayla's gonna live? How did that feel for you?
I don't think that there was a sense of peace.
Oh, right.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you had said to me it was, feeling free.
Yeah.
It's like free. When you finally get to just sit and go like, no, who is Tayla? What is meaningful to Tayla? And giving yourself permission to let all the other bullshit go.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And, you know, you're at work and stuff happens, and you know, you have to sit and say, "Oh, you gotta take a step back before you get in your feelings." And that's just everything's about that. Take a step back before you get in your feelings about anything, and that's really what the Gospel of Tayla was about. Was like, check your feeling. You can feel what you need to feel because it's there, but don't allow your feelings to guide you. Go with the Gospel of Tayla, because this is what is really real. And when you start questioning yourself, go back to the Gospel of Tayla and what really drives you, so that you won't continue. You got to have something to stand on. And this is what's so funny, K Ray, is I used to call it was the self-proclaimed gypsy. I was a free spirit, and you know, I had to be real with myself about that too. I was like, that's just another way for me to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Just like for me, meditation. And I think meditation is a great thing. I you know, if used properly, I think meditation is a great thing. But it was a way for me to escape from the reality of being in the here and now. And we talked about that. This is it. Why am I trying to go somewhere else? I'm trying to go to all these dimensions and alternative realities and all this other stuff. And I'm driving myself crazy, but it's all right here. You get what I'm saying? Like, be here.
Right. So I have this belief, like, you know, the whole idea of heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Or that heaven is another place and earth is like, there's different like spheres.
Right.
And I have this whole belief that heaven is already here.
Yeah.
Like,
or hell.
It's our, or hell, right? That's true. It's how we're like, it's all here. It's all contained here. But it's our perception. It's our level of presence.
Say it one more time.
To be able to see it. It's our level of perception and presence.
Yes.
That makes us feel like we're in heaven or hell.
Your perception, and I know people mad about this, and there's so many debates about this, but my belief is your perception is your reality. Whatever it is that you think is in front of you is what's in front of you.
Yes.
What was it? It was a movie. What was the name? Vantage Point.
Okay.
It showed one particular event that happened, but it showed it from five different people's point of view, and it was different for every single person. Mm-hmm. And so that's our path. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you believe that you're the one that's on your own path and you're destined to create it, or there's a higher power, God, universe, whatever that leads you on your path, who the fuck knows? The only thing I know is that we're here and you're present, and heaven, hell, whatever you want.
Joy, happiness, pain, suffering, all of it contained right here, right now.
Right here.
For us to play with.
Yes, experience.
Yes.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to experience. That's my belief. Because I respect your.
Let's talk about being stuck in your house. Like some people with COVID, like, you know, there's people who are out there having to go out and do work and be on the front lines and blah 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 blah. But there's a lot of people who are sort of stuck in their house. And I loved what you said about dating stuff. You know, the whole like meeting people or what the perception is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So of course, you know, you're stuck in the house, people are bored. Mm-hmm. So you get on the dating apps, and I'm on a couple of them. So you get on these dating apps, and people are like, I'm like, what's up? We know what you're doing. I'm bored. So and then, you know, there will be people that will even text you, what's up with you? I'm bored. So you believe that I'm the PlayStation 4 because you're bored and I'm going to be your entertainment. I love saying that. But there's so many things that you can do in your home, like so much you can do, like clean your closets out, dust, because I'm pretty sure you haven't. Pull your couch out and sweep. Go get them cobwebs.
Oh yeah.
Deep clean. And when you fight the trees, if your plants ain't real, mine ain't real. I wish I had a room done, but wipe them off. You know, create. This is a time, and you said this, I think that is beautiful. This is a time to really sit down and be able to create. If you don't know who you are, which a lot of people don't, This is the time to sit down. You know, we kind of talked about this, and people being with themselves,
Yes.
and the people who have now have to sit down, who's used to going, and now you have to sit down and be with yourself. Ooh, Michael Jackson said it. I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Yep.
And a lot of times we don't want to sit with ourselves because we don't want to feel the trauma. We don't want to feel the hurt, the pain, all the stuff that we've been running from within ourselves. And we've been trying to find things on the outside of us in order to heal those things. And so now is the time where people have the opportunity to sit and heal. Now you're in the house with your wife and y'all always busy. And so y'all have not been able to spend any time with each other. And so now here y'all are having to look at each other and you like, I don't even like you. Like, I ain't know I ain't like you. You know what I'm saying? So what do we do about this? Now it's time to have some honest conversations. Or now you're in the house with your children who don't even know you because you're never at home. Or there's a relationship that's kind of been strained.
Yes.
So now y'all gotta sit there and take this time to have honest conversations. But each of y'all get by yourself and have honest conversations with yourself. Do exercises. Find exercises online about bonding and coping and healing and pull those exercises. If you know a life coach, if you know somebody, say, is there something that we can do as a family? I love therapy. I love life coaching. I'm a life coach, certified life coach myself. And I don't practice because I don't want to start a business. So we already talked about that. Mm-hmm. But there are resources out there where you can sit and do the work yourself. Nobody can tell you anything that you don't already know. That's already not within you. If you sit long enough and with yourself and you let that come up and you truly listen to yourself, all the answers to all of your questions are already within you. Stop asking people for advice because the advice that they give you is going to be based on their experiences, which has nothing to do with you.
Right.
Do what's best for you. Don't second guess yourself because then you're saying, I don't trust me. And if you don't trust you, you got some work to do.
Yeah.
If you can't sit and say, should I go buy a car? And you have to call and consult with everybody else, it's a problem.
I think that's culturally, that's like we were entrained for so long, generations, to look outside ourselves for the answer. Mm-hmm. I have issue with some religious,
mm-hmm.
situations, right? Where that's the projection. That's the thing that we're just sitting there listening to someone else tell us what the word is. Their perception of the word, even if they read it in the Bible, it's still their perception of what their parents' perception on top of them, and they're just regurgitating the same stuff. And it's like, now is the time when we're all, as human beings, have the opportunity to really understand what makes our unique selves tick. Like, what is it that makes me happy? What do I enjoy doing? It's going to be different than what Tayla enjoys doing. Tayla's out there having her own other life experience, doing the things that she loves to do based on, all of the things that have happened. And I have had different life experiences. Neither one is right or wrong. It just is. And I love the idea of people being able to not believe anything anymore, like be stripped of all what they thought was true, and then to start fresh and go, so now, what is the gospel according to K. Ray?
Yes.
What is the gospel according to Tayla?
Yes.
And how am I going to walk my path? One thing for me personally is like, do no harm. Do my best as I walk my path, not to hurt anyone in the process. And I think if we got down to some core, like, consenting adult, like we're consenting adult, like whatever, do no harm, do as little harm as you can, but also,
like that.
right?
I like that.
Yeah. And, but people don't even know what they believe. They don't even know who they are.
And I think K. Ray, if they were to sit down and strip all of it, they wouldn't even know what to do. they will go crazy. Some people go crazy because they're like, what this ain't for real? And then here you are in an existential crisis, and you either come back from it or you don't. You don't. Some
Or you
people,
don't, right? You go to the loony bin.
yeah, yeah. It's like everything I've been taught, like even with history, like I don't know what's true.
Right.
I'm getting on it.
History isn't it's
No,
not it's not
I wasn't there. I
yeah.
wasn't.
So
I wasn't
we
there.
live we live like, to me, like 2020 was the global reset point of, stop looking outside of yourself. When I say about this thing, people who idolize celebrities, gurus, athletes, fashion, latest trend,
All of
it's
it's
like we're
gone.
all projecting out and looking to see ourselves in the mirror in other people and things, when we're not willing to get the freaking mirror up and go like, I see you.
Yeah.
And not judge ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And be
And
patient.
to me, that is also the key, is like the whole idea of loving your neighbor as yourself. Let's really look at that,
Mm-hmm.
because do you really love yourself? How can you even, like, that statement? It's like, if you're not even loving yourself, you can't love your neighbor. You, like, man in the mirror, you said Michael Jackson. It absolutely, it's right here. All your work is right here.
It's right there. And if you focus on you and you worry about you and you work on you and stop trying to change everybody else, the change will come around you.
Yeah.
The change will come right, because at the end of the day, you can't control. We are in control of nothing.
Right.
We can't control other people. We can't control how they feel. We can't control their response to us. We can't control their response to anything externally around them. The only thing that we have control of is our reaction, our response, and ourselves. And so if you are constantly focused on you and always reflective, anything that happens outside of you, you have, and if you're triggered, you have to say, why am I triggered? What is this about me? It's not the other person is being themselves. They're being themselves. They're doing what some people were, depending on what you believe. I'm still, I'm still, it's still gonna come out some stuff that I
Yes.
think I believe.
Yes.
Because I've been told to. But who knows? But if that person may have been placed here, I do believe that everybody's our teacher.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody that you come across that's not there to teach you, and you are not there to teach them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you dealing with somebody that come into your life, and you dealing with this dude, or you dealing with this woman, or you dealing with this person, and like they scamming you, and they doing all this other, they're put there to teach you. Learn the lesson. Don't be upset with them. Look at it like, what they here to teach me? And if it keeps showing up, you're not getting it. If it keeps it's an energy. The same energy is gonna keep showing up. It's gonna be in different people, different situations. And until you say, what is it that I need to change within myself? And I'm not triggered by it anymore. Like, I think everything's like a video game. Like, we start off here, and then you have to you win this one by, oh, I got it. And then it no longer happens anymore because you're good. Okay, I'm not triggered. And then you go to the next level, and it may just keep getting a little deeper and deeper until I think at some point the lessons do stop. And then the tests come to see if you learned the lesson.
Yeah.
And then I think that even stops at some point, and and then you can live and be happy.
And I feel like your latest existential revelation, of just be here now, is so vital for our society, our culture. Be present, be conscious, be with the person you are with. If you don't like the person that you're with, don't be with the person that you're with.
Oh my God, it's that simple. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was like, he have a girlfriend and they live together. And I'm like, but He said, but when I really, well, why are you? We have a kid. People have children all the time. Figure out a way to co-parent. Be honest. I said, why are you there if you're not happy? You know, why? I don't get, well, you know, it's our finances and I work the plan out and move. Like, sit down like adults and figure it out. Because at the end of the day, it's going to come crashing down. Y'all gonna be in this forever. Sometimes most things are over and you stay in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you probably weren't even supposed to get to that point, but I like you. And this is the thing, too. Enjoy whatever is going on in the moment and then let it go. It is done, it's over, we moved on to the next moment. And I think so many people stay in a memory.
Yeah.
And they hold on to that feeling. And you can't, like it's over, it's done. Nothing exists but now.
Yeah.
And if you continue to live, continue to think, yeah, sure, you can. Well, I've learned this too. You can plan all day long. I'm a plan to move to Mexico. I'm a plan to do this. I'm a plan to do that. Sometimes it may happen. But don't put all your eggs in that one basket because it might not be meant to happen. You can't foresee the future. So stay in the flow. Just stay in the flow.
Yeah.
After you plan, just stay in the flow.
I wanna say, because before we came on today, we were talking about our signs and the fact that I'm Scorpio, double Scorpio with Virgo moon, and that holding on to old thoughts and old scenarios and people that I thought, betrayed me, or situations happen that it's mulling over it, going like, how did I go wrong? What did I do? What, blah, 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 blah. Gosh, that's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. And it has nothing to do with you.
And it has nothing to do with what's happening right now.
Nothing. At all.
And so I was saying at 54, I'm finally like, ding, 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 ding. Stop it.
Yeah. Because it's insanity.
It is.
We drive ourselves crazy with this shit.
I'm not changing anything by repeating the scenario in my brain.
The only thing you're doing is driving yourself crazy.
Exactly.
The only thing you're doing is wasting time when you could go be doing something creative. But it takes practice. None of this, we speak about all this stuff and it's like, oh, no, it took a long time to get here. Oh, no.
Work. It's work.
Oh.
Personal work.
Oh, it takes a long time to get here. It took a long, and I'm still. And tomorrow I could wake up and be right back where I was 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I will be, but it's always a possibility that in this moment right now, this is how I'm feeling. Yeah. I could feel a completely different way and make some music or make.
Wait. Okay, here's the thing though. Your music. That's that one song, that video. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Can you remind people? Can you tell me what the name of the song is?
So the name of the song is called "Fuck," but it's an acronym.
Okay, right.
It's an acronym for feel the ultimate conscious knowing.
Wow.
And when I created that song, it was the third song I ever created. I wrote the words and did the vote. It's really a rough cut. I didn't even master it, and I probably would never redo it. But when I did that song, I was in a completely different place than I am now. And I think I did it 5 months ago, but I was in this real spiritual, just when I did it, and it was almost like it wasn't me. It was like a completely I sat down. It took me an hour and a half to do the music, to write it, to lay it down, all of that. And then it's like I snapped out of it. I probably will never do anything else like that. It was a message that was supposed to be given.
And you know what? Truth, I believe that a lot of life is the more you were in a present moment state that allowed and open and allowed that to come through you. And now you're at a different place. You're saying like, no, relationships are important. Who
Relationship.
I'm with, what I'm doing, how I'm interacting with people. That's what's important. Not me in my room by myself, meditate, just doing all the things. Yes.
Trying to do rituals and trying to manifest. And I gotta say, nothing's wrong with any of that. And
No.
it's a part of it. It was just a part of my journey. And I found it when I was sitting and I was manifesting and I was waiting. Like, and that's all I was doing.
Yes.
Was waiting. I was creating vision boards and manifesting, and I'm meditating, and
And
I'm waiting.
waiting. Yeah,
And
and so what we're coming into, like the resounding wholeness. So I'm gonna get us to resounding wholeness and what kind of
right.
like what everyone's gonna have a different take on what resounding wholeness is because it's based on their own life's experience. What does wholeness mean? And I know that we're at a time on the planet where the sort of the receiving and giving, the flow, the infinity, the flow of infinity, feminine, masculine, people integrating the receiving and giving or the feminine and masculine traits within themselves. And where was I going with that?
We're
Um,
talking about resounding wholeness.
it's like that's to me. It's the yin yang. It's within every human
Yeah.
being that you sit and you receive what it is in the moment. You have to be able to kind of just be in your body and pay attention in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
What action needs to happen next? And so it's
In
both.
that moment.
It's in the moment. You're like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I, and then you take the action. And I also notice you're like, more people are starting to going like, how do I feel about what I need to do, or how do I feel? Like, what's my gut telling me that I need to do? Our brain has to get out of the equation. Our brain is here to serve us, to help us be creative and organize things, but it's the inner knowing, that present moment, that's telling us, that's guiding us to our next action.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to me what you're like, no, this is like,
Mm-hmm.
I got to be both.
Yeah, and it's in everything that you're saying. We had talked about resounding wholeness, what that means, and even in what you just said, and this just can't like just this is about being in the present moment. This stuff comes to you,
Yeah.
but all of it is about balance. That's what resounding wholeness means to me.
Mm.
It's balance,
Creating balance.
balance, and that's the one thing that I don't do well with because I'm an extremist. Is either I'm all in or I'm all out, and so that is the answer right now because that's what came up. That's what all of this is about. Is about
Yeah.
balance and not going to the extreme. Either you're doing everything or you're not doing everything. There is a balance
Yes.
in it all, just like darkness and light. And there has to be one to be the other. And
Yes.
so my friend Alicia would tell me all the time, Taylor, gray is okay. Gray is okay. Gray is okay. Everything doesn't have to be over here and over here. There is a
Right.
gray, and that's okay. And that's her speaking, and because she manifested when she said so. That's this coming into this in this moment. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Balance.
So the other thing for me that's so important is like why I even do this is to help people bring their voice, have their voice heard. From the beginning of Frame Drum Wisdom, it's been like, how do I help people, you know, bring the true essence of who they really are out into the world and not feel like they have to apologize,
Mm-hmm.
or you're anything. And of course, I believe that we're always here to teach what it is we need to learn,
I completely.
and share what it is we need and support what it is we need to learn. And
Mm-hmm.
so, what I love about you, Tayla, and I think what probably drew me to you is because you have such a command of your voice. Now, you may not have always said what really needed to be said along your journey,
Mm-hmm.
your voice is just is medicine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it truly is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you make me like pull out it.
Yeah, right. And so
Thank
like
you.
it doesn't matter what you do.
Mm,
It's you in the moment saying what you need to say, saying the wisdom that comes from you. And if your wisdom changes tomorrow, so be it.
yeah. Wow.
Because Taylor's not confined to any one, anything, any projection.
Mm.
Taylor is free.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Oh, thank you for speaking that into my life, girl. I receive it. I receive it. Oh my God.
And it's recorded. So if you ever forget,
All I do is come back.
replay.
I receive that. I receive that.
Yeah.
I receive that.
Yeah.
And I have to say this, and I have to because I would be remiss to say. I guess that's the word. You know, you use words and you think it sounds good, and you think that that's what it means. And because you've heard it in the sentence before, I don't know if I'm supposed to use remiss, but I have to say while I have this space and
Yes.
time that there are people that have been on my journey that I don't think that I would be where I am if it had not been for these people. And it's Alicia. I'm not gonna say anybody last name, probably don't want me to, but Alicia, Jasmine,
Mm.
Jasmine, Jasmine, Dominique,
Mm-hmm.
Ginger. So Ginger is the one that makes all of my jewelry. I have to give a shout out. This is so uniquely you designs by Ginger is all this Damien.
Where's she based out of?
She's in Nashville.
She's in
You,
Nashville.
I
Really?
think you probably seen Ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, uniquely you. She's in Nashville,
Yes.
but all of this amazing jewelry and Damien and Mario and just all of these amazing people that have come into my life and have Sana they just have come into my life at some period. And I want to give a tribute. I don't know if you know Michael L. Michael L. Was the founder of Dream 7 Theater. He passed last week in Nashville. He passed, and I just want to give a shout out in memory to him because when I was hurting and when I went through my wreck and went through all that, he put me back on the stage in Nashville. And so, you know, there's just there's so many people along this journey, but though, you know, I'm just so grateful. And I love each and every one of you, and Karim, you know, just um, everybody. And so I'm so grateful to be here. And I wouldn't be here without my teachers
Yeah.
because they have truly taught me. And I'm so grateful.
That's beautiful.
So grateful.
That's awesome. So 2021, you know, any thought, any hope for yourself or for the world or for, you know, any other important things that you feel need to say, like given this forum, like what do you want people to know? If today was your last day and you
Yeah.
didn't know it, like what would Taylor want to leave people with? What would you want your grandchildren to know? What would you want your child, you know, your daughter to know?
Well, I just repeat what I've said.
Mhm.
And it is always trust yourself. Don't make any decisions based on anybody other than you. Always say, what is it that's best for me in any decision that you make, because other people are always going to make the best decision for themselves. Do what makes you happy. I don't care. As long as you're not hurting anybody else.
Right.
Do what makes you happy. If you want to go have all the sex in the world, if that's what you like to do, go do it. Be safe. But go do it. If you want to bake a cake, you want to start a business, just try. And if it doesn't work out, then you can't say that you didn't try it. Don't allow COVID to scare you. Don't allow COVID to scare you.
Yeah.
Don't allow COVID to scare you and create so much fear within yourself that you stop connecting with people, that you stop doing the things that you love, that you stop living your dream, that you stop moving forward. I know a lot of times this can feel very, we are in a time where this don't even feel like we don't even know what we feel, but everything is shifting. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shift, and just be in the shift, just stay in the flow, create your own gospel.
Yes, I love it. I'm gonna sing my gospel when I come.
Yes, create your own gospel. You know, just go through a phase, and you know, and I'm don't, you know, for so long all I was about, we're all gonna die, and I'm at this point choosing to live. Make the choice to live.
Yes.
No matter, I don't care if you're 2, I don't care if you're 15, I don't care if you're 65.
Mr. Kevin.
Mr. Kevin. Make a choice to live, because you don't know how long you have. You could have tomorrow, you could have the next moment, you could have the next 30 years. Just don't get so caught up in death and choose to live.
Yes.
Be happy.
Amen.
That's it. That's it. And listen to yourself, and don't allow other people to, oh, you made me mad. No, you allowed them to. Don't allow other people to.
Be bold and write a song called "Fuck."
Yeah,
right. It's a great song. I'm probably gonna post it, you know, below. Just let people hear.
Yes, y'all listen. So, I'm gonna tell you, I've been wanting, and this is where this came from. I'm just gonna share this, but I had always wanted to make music. If I could live inside of music, I would. Like, I love music. Like, music is my shit. That's the one thing I cannot live without. I have to hear it every day. Yes. And I listen to all types of music, and I always wanted to make music. Mm-hmm. And Damien, my friend in Augusta, he was like, okay, well, Tayla, how do you want to do it? So we were looking at Mac, and he said, get a Mac. Just get a Mac Mini. Don't get a laptop, just get a Mac Mini. And so it ended up turning into me with a webcam, with a microphone, with a pop filter. I have a glow light over here. I was going to start a YouTube. I did start a YouTube channel. I have a couple videos up because I do it when I feel like it. But he told me, and this is one of the things that he said, and I loved it. He said, because I was like, I'm spending all this money on all this stuff. He said, it's an investment. He said, and when you're ready to use it, it'll be there. So if you feel in your heart that there's something that you're supposed to be doing or something that you want to do, and you know it's not in that moment, go buy the stuff. So when you're in the house again in quarantine, it'll be there. You'll have it.
You know, my business, Frame Drum Wisdom. Yeah, I'm one who just like I gotta do this. You know, it's literally just little. It's so many little steps.
Yeah.
It's so many like resources, little bits of resources that I just kept going and doing. And I am not someone who went out and looked for investors. In fact, because what I do is so heart, I didn't want anyone involved. I don't want to owe anyone anything.
Don't want to have anybody else's opinion.
I don't want anyone trying to get a percentage or whatever. No opinions, because this is my heart. This is my soul. This is little K Ray's. Little K Ray's like heart, like coming out into the world, and so it's like all those small steps, all the resources that you already have. All of the resources, all of the life experiences you've already had.
Say it one more time. I asked somebody who has a business, I ain't gonna say her name, but she has a business, and I said, have you consulted with energy? She said, no. She said, everything I did was what I felt. And when I tell you everything I did is what I felt, and everything that I needed came to me. She said, I had clients coming to me from all over the place. I didn't know where they were coming from. You get what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that, K Ray, and anybody else who is starting a bit, don't do it for the money.
Right.
No, because money ain't real. It's just a tool.
Yeah.
To be able to live here. Don't do it for the money, but do it because it's here. And don't have any expectations on the outcome.
Yeah. Because no matter what, like even when you get on your soul's path, or if I talk about true soul's path, or you find like the energy of what you're supposed to be focusing on in that moment, is that life is still gonna life. It's still hard. It's still easy. It's still joyful. It's still all the things. You just have more commitment because it's your soul to
Mm-hmm.
keep going no matter what obstacles come in the way.
No
If
matter.
if you are following someone else's path,
It's not
you
gonna
don't
work.
have it just won't work.
Mhm.
It just won't work.
And if their formula works so well, you know, you hear about these formulas. You follow my formula and you can make $100 million. And then you gotta pay them $500,000 for their formula.
That's how they do the millions because they just have two
That's,
clients at
that's
$500,000.
exactly what it is. And then, you know, don't listen to yourself. Listen to your, that's the advice that the one thing that I can listen to yourself. Trust yourself.
Yep.
You always sit quietly and listen to yourself. Or and some things may come in the song. Pay attention to that stuff. You hear a song twice. Somebody says something to you and you ain't ever seen this person, ain't ever paid this person in, and all of something that they say resonates. Take that in.
Yes.
Because it may be your higher self, higher self, spirit guide, word, universe, God, whatever.
I
Speak
always
it.
think like if things come in threes, like sometimes they say they're bad omens, but sometimes it's like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
one person will go like, do this. You might want to do this, and you're like, nah. And then down the road, something, same thing, do this, and then again the same. It's like, okay,
Maybe I need to.
maybe I'll
But if
try
I
it.
don't,
I'll try it. I'll go down that road, see what happens.
see what happens. And take more risk, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like what's the worst that can happen?
You die,
Well, you die. That's
which you're gonna die anyway.
the worst thing. No, you're like really. You know, there is no worst thing. We
No.
think that there's a worst thing because we've been taught that there's a worst thing, and it's still again that's all about perception. Some people,
Right.
and I go back to death. Some people view death as horrible and horrid and oh my God, 20 when all this stuff with COVID, 2020 ain't been good to us. Oh, 2020, people was dying before 2020, before COVID. People was dying. You know what I'm saying? But you can either look at death as a beautiful thing. What they used to say, you're supposed to cry when a baby is born, and you're supposed to celebrate when someone dies. Because this is
Yes.
a crazy place, you know.
Yes.
So it's just, you know, I don't know. I just that's those about 8,000 existential crises that I go through every day. And if you go through an existential crisis, go through it, let it go, and guess what? Something else beautiful is gonna come, and you're gonna experience some amazing things. You know, and then it's gonna be over. And then as I'm sitting here and I'm talking, existential crisis just leads you into the next thing.
I was just gonna say, here's something that as you described that, I used to have migraines a lot, growing up and stuff. And what I came to learn about migraines is that they were really super painful, and like I'd have to go and hide under the covers and turn out all the lights and be in the dark and have no thought, and all of the pain of the headache would just like clear my whole mind where there was no thought. And then the next day when I came out of it, it was like I was a whole new person.
Yeah.
That's the energy of what you're talking about.
Yes.
There is no thought, there is no belief. I'm renewed. I get to start again fresh.
Over. And that's a beautiful thing too. People are afraid of change and starting over. I get it. That's beautiful.
I mean, it's like most people who experience migraines would go, it's not beautiful. I'm like, but I found the beauty in it. I found the beauty in it.
Beauty in everything. Beauty in everything. And people who, if you're getting sick a lot, I challenge you, is what they say, disease is dis-ease. I challenge you to see what's stressing you out. I challenge you to look in the mirror and start healing yourself. Let's start going away. Sure, you need to eat healthy, you need to exercise. But a lot of this stuff is stuff from your mama and your daddy and your grandmama and generational stuff and stuff that these men you done dated and these women you done dated and your children and there it go. I know that used to be my thing too. You know that. Let it go. Let this shit go.
Let it go.
But there's
Yes.
a process even in letting things go. You know, one day you can just start speaking, and then one day you wake up and be like, "Dang, I'm good on that." And that's just a part of all of this. Like that, I think that's why we're here. You know, and to not allow our lessons to get on our nerves.
Yeah.
You know, to not allow our lessons to take us down through there, not to allow our experiences to we learn how to rise above it. Or I'm sorry, I'm a nose itch. We learn how to the more stuff you go through, the more you can laugh at it and be like,
I see you, right? I see it. Yeah, that's something I've noticed with age too, is those things that would happen to me where I would be I would be lost for weeks on end. Now it's like, this is
yeah,
triggered, and then I allow myself to go, what is the real issue? Rise above it, look at it, and then I'm back on track, getting done what I need to get done in a day or an
yeah,
hour or 10 minutes, right?
yeah.
So that's awesome too. Yeah.
Get it.
Well, Tayla, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I love you. I appreciate you, and I look forward to real hugs again when you're back in town or I'm headed that way. And I wish you all the best.
Thank
And
you. I love you.
get some good loving this weekend and every day.
I be loving myself after the 2 weeks I've had. I'll be up in here with me and my rum chata and fireball.
Awesome.
If you've never had rum chata, y'all out there, if you've never had rum chata and fireball, rum chata is a little expensive. But go get you some rum chata and some fireball. It is the best thing in the world. If I could drink that without the alcohol being in it, I would. It tastes like cinnamon toast crunch. It is completely amazing.
Do you put it over ice or what do you do?
Yes, I
Yes,
put it over
over
ice.
Just
Get
sweet.
you some rum chata.
And warmth, especially with this
Yeah,
cold
with it.
front
Yeah.
coming in.
It's amazing. And it does taste good, like when it's chilled. It's really good. So I'll be sitting here watching movies and go get me some sushi. And I'm going to love on myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I send everybody else love and peace and thank you know, I'm just so grateful for everybody that's been a part. I'm sorry if I ain't say y'all name. It's so many people. Share, cannot forget about Share. Share's not on Facebook anymore, but there's so many people that have been an integral part of my journey, and I just love every single one of you. I love you, K. Ray. I'm grateful that you have created this in order to have people like myself and your other guests that you've had to be able to come on and speak and share their experiences.
Yes.
I'm inspired.
It's so valuable. Every human being is valuable. Every human being is valuable. And we all deserve to be able to have our stories and share our wisdom.
I agree.
We're all an aspect. We're all as far as we're all stars in a constellation. So have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Tayla, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone who watched us today and who sees us in the future. Thank you for taking the time and listening.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.